Hi. Don't mind me. You want to discuss some tech and gaming news, Carlos? Carlos wants to talk about some gaming news. Attaboy, Carlos. Attaboy. Skip it up and that up. So if you want to see more from Carlos the ass-eating chicken on my YouTube channel, make sure you use your beaks to peck at that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button and also hit the bell to get notifications of all of my uploads and all of Carlos the ass-eating chicken's uploads. It's a good chicken. It's a good chicken. So recently I talked about how Days Gone director John Garvin was just on God of War creators David Joffe's podcast or YouTube channel. And he went into, and I think we all kind of already knew this without Sony announcing it, that Metacritic is everything to Sony. And it's frustrating because there was a lot of potential. I've played a little bit of it, but I'm waiting for it to come to PC. I heard there was a lot of potential with Days Gone. The initial game was flawed, but it had a lot of potential, and they fixed a lot of things with patches and updates. And now I think it runs at 60 on the PlayStation 5 and looks really good. So it isn't a franchise that Sony should just look past, be like, oh, okay, you know, first time out of the gate, Bend Studios stumbled a little bit, but, you know, oh, well, we're going to move on to other AAA games that we know will sell. It sold well. Days Gone sold well. A lot of people like it. They want a sequel. And there's a Change.org petition that's getting a whole bunch of signatures to tell Sony to work on a sequel of Days Gone. So you should do it, Sony. Well, anyway, on that YouTube video that David Joffe had John Garvin on, he also had a really bad take on video game pricing and what he feels would allow for a sequel to happen. Keep in mind that Days Gone did sell very well. This is what John Garvin said. I do have an opinion on something that your audience may find of interest, and it might piss some of them off. But he continues, if you love a game, buy it at full price. I can't tell you how many times I've seen gamers say, yeah, I got that on sale. I got that through PS Plus or whatever. I'm just saying, you know, but don't complain if a game doesn't get a sequel if it wasn't supported at launch. It's like God of War got whatever number millions of sales at launch, and, you know, Days Gone didn't. I'm just speaking for me personally as a developer. I don't work for Sony. I don't know what the numbers are. I can tell you that when we were doing Siphon Filter Dark Mirror on PSP, we got so on Dark Mirror because piracy was a thing and Sony wasn't really caught up on what piracy was doing to sales. And we should show them the torrents. A torrent site had 200,000 copies of Dark Mirror being downloaded, if I remember it right. The numbers could be wrong, but regardless, I was pissed about it, man. I was like, this is money out of my pocket. So I have very mixed feelings on how much piracy truly affects game sales when you have companies like CD Projekt Red that don't put DRM in their games. I feel almost like the community spites developers that put DRM on their games, whether it be PC or console. PC mostly, but PC or console, if you put DRM on your games, it's like you're challenging the community to go out and try to crack it and try to pirate it. But also, too, we're seeing that I'm not condoning you taking like a new PS5 game or Xbox Series X game or Switch game and pirating it, but look at the older games. Look at the situation. Granted, Sony changed their tune with the PS3 and PS Vita stores, and they're going to keep them open, but look at how fast history can just disappear, and gaming history could just disappear. So the community wants to preserve it. And piracy unofficially, because the companies aren't, it would be official support if Nintendo, Sony, or Microsoft preserve the games, but it's basically on the community's backs to make sure these games, these legacy games, remain alive and remain in a way that they could be playable in the future. Now, am I saying that piracy doesn't affect sales at all? No, but I don't think it's as detrimental, and it's been proven to be not as detrimental as a lot of publishers make it out to be, and developers too make it out to be. Not saying it's not a problem, but it's not as big as, it doesn't make or break a game. Let's just put it that way. And if you do have DRM on your games, people are going to find a way to crack it. And if you want to be more pro community, don't have the DRM, and people will be more willing to buy your product. Again, CD Projekt Red, Cyberpunk 2077 aside, has proven that. But about Days Gone director John Garvin's take, terrible. Look, man, people aren't made of money. Look, I understand that you, especially with a new series, you want to see support in the beginning, because if you buy it at full price, Sony's seeing more of a return and the game's more profitable. But games are expensive. They're now going up because we're getting scammed. They're now going up to $70 a game. It's not just like, oh, I'm going to go rent a movie, or, oh, I'm going to go, some people could only get like 3 games or 4 games a year, if not less. So you're saying you got to buy the game at full price if we want to see a sequel. Maybe the game was flawed and they don't want to spend the $60 on Days Gone. They may want to spend $30 in the future after it was patched. Maybe they want to wait till it's out on PC, or maybe they want to wait until something's updated so you fix the missions and the game's not as glitchy. You can't say it's your fault because our game isn't getting a sequel. People have to watch reviews. They have to hear from the community, and a lot of times, whether it's justified or not, a lot of the community doesn't trust reviewers. They want to wait for the community to come out and say, yeah, this game is good or this game is bad. Why do you think there's user scores on Steam and on all these different platforms? There's user scores for a reason, because people want to hear from the community as well. So no one's just going to go, hey, here's my cashola, here's my cheddar, here's my chicken, take my chicken for this game. No, they may want to save Carlos the ass-eating chicken for another game if your game isn't up to snuff. And from what I heard in the beginning, now I hear it's a really good game. Days Gone was pretty rough. So you saying go out and buy it day one at full price when they don't know if the game is good or not, and they need to hear if the game is good or not, and they want to hear, especially with how broken games like Cyberpunk 2077, to bring that up again, come out at launch, people aren't willing to pay full price. They want to wait until they get the product that they deserve. Right, Carlos? This is Rich of Review Tech USA signing out. You're a good-looking chicken. Just stay away from my holes. Hey, if you enjoy my content, consider becoming a Review Tech USA member. I'll have a link below in the description. I live stream now on this channel all the time, and it gives you access to cool emoticons to use as well while I live stream. Again, link below in the description. Thank you for your continued support.